Mark Twain is widely regarded as the founder of critical realism in American literature. He left school at age 12 to support himself. He worked as a typesetter, a sailor, a boat pilot, a miner, and a journalist, becoming self-educated through tough times. Twain wrote widely throughout his life, including novels, plays, essays, and poetry. His works, in content, criticize social injustices and the ugliness of human nature. Stylistically, they are marked by humor and satire. Though his content and style changed with age, his work stayed closely tied to the social changes and everyday life of the American people. William Faulkner called him the father of American literature. Twain is a writer who has profoundly shaped America, not only due to his experiences, thoughts, and perspectives. Few authors are seen as more truly representing America than Twain. With remarkable talent, he used colloquial language to convey a mischievous sense of humor, and even today, Twain is widely recognized as the originator of the American style of language. Over a century after his death, Twain's most famous work, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, remains a significant read. Ernest Hemingway famously said of the book, "All modern American literature comes from it." Mark Twain's works have established him as one of the most influential American writers of all time. Biography. Mark Twain, whose real name was Samuel Langhorne Clemens, was born on November 30, 1835, in the small town of Florida, Missouri. He was the sixth of 7 children in his family, though only 3 of his siblings survived to adulthood. When Samuel was 4 years old, his family moved to Hannibal, Missouri, a busy river town on the Mississippi River. This town later served as the inspiration for the fictional St. Petersburg in his famous novels. Missouri was a slave state in the Union at the time, and young Samuel began to learn about slavery, a theme that would recur in his later adventure novels. Tragedy struck Samuel's family when his father died of pneumonia in 1847, leaving them in financial hardship. To help support his family, Samuel left school at age 12 to work as a printer's apprentice. In 1851, he became a typesetter and started drafting articles for the Hannibal Journal at age 16. When he was 18, he left Hannibal and worked as a printer in New York City, Philadelphia, St. Louis, and Cincinnati. By 22, Samuel returned to Missouri and secured a lifelong position as a pilot, which was the 3rd highest-paying job in the United States at the time, earning $250 per month. Afterward, Samuel worked along the Mississippi River. His steady job did not diminish his passion for writing. Despite lacking formal education, he loved reading and learned on his own by reading many books. The river fascinated him and had a significant influence on his life and writing, both then and in the future. However, the outbreak of the Civil War in 1861 interrupted this. The river's traffic was greatly reduced. It ended Samuel's job. During the Civil War, Samuel briefly joined a Confederate militia but soon left to head west and seek his fortune. His journey ended in Virginia City, a silver mining town in Nevada, where he became a miner. When his mining efforts failed, he took a job at a newspaper in the city. It was there that he first used the pseudonym Mark Twain in 1863, a term used by riverboat pilots to measure water depth. Later, he gradually became a writer, though it was many years before Mark Twain gained popularity. In 1867, Mark Twain traveled to the Mediterranean region as a reporter. Twain met his fellow passenger, Charles Langdon, during this journey and fell in love at first sight with a photograph of his sister, Olivia Langdon. They married in Elmira, New York, in 1870, and the couple had 4 children, Langdon, Susie, Clara, and Jean. Their marriage lasted 34 years until Olivia died in 1904. Twain was born shortly after Halley's Comet appeared and predicted that his death would coincide with it as well, writing in 1909, "I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835, it's coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it." He died of a heart attack the day after the comet was at its closest to the Sun, on April 21, 1910, at 74. His marriage played a significant role in Twain's success. After 1871, he lived with Olivia in Hartford, Connecticut, for 20 years. Olivia came from a wealthy but open-minded family. She not only gave him a stable life but also, through her, introduced him to abolitionists, socialists, atheists, and activists for women's rights and social equality. They provided new theoretical views for Twain's writing. Twain's most important works were all written during this period. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, published in 1876, was inspired by Twain's own childhood in Hannibal. The character of Tom Sawyer was based on him and included traits of his childhood friends. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn is a sequel to the earlier novel, with a more serious tone than its predecessor. Its 400-page manuscript was written in mid-1876, shortly after the first book was published. Other works, like The Prince and the Pauper and Gilded Age, were finished during this time. Twain found success as a writer during his lifetime, but even after gaining fame, his life and career faced many challenges. He experienced significant personal losses. 3 of his 4 children died before him. He was heavily in debt due to poor investments. To pay off his debts, he traveled the world giving speeches, and although he was physically and mentally exhausted, he fulfilled his obligations. As a writer, his greatest regret was that some of his works were banned for various reasons. Even today, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn is often restricted in American high schools. He spent his final years in depression. Mark Twain's life and works continue to captivate readers around the world. Through his sharp wit, memorable characters, and fearless exploration of social issues, he gave voice to the joys and struggles of American life. His timeless novels have kept him a towering figure in literature. Although he saw himself as a pilot of the Mississippi River, as his pen name suggests, his readers see him as Halley's Comet, which streaked across the sky in those unforgettable years. People can recognize the brilliance he created while also understanding the sorrow he left behind. That is the enduring legacy of this great American author. The Gilded Age is co-written with Charles Dudley Warner. This satirical novel lent its name to the post-Civil War era in America. It critiques the rampant political corruption and excessive materialism of the time through interwoven plots of speculation and ambition. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer is a light-hearted, nostalgic adventure story following the mischievous young Tom Sawyer in the fictional town of St. Petersburg, Missouri. It captures the spirit of boyhood on the Mississippi River, featuring adventures, romance, and a treasure hunt. Adventures of Huckleberry Finn is often called the Great American Novel. This sequel follows Huck Finn's journey down the Mississippi River with Jim, an escaped slave. It is a powerful satire of racism and societal hypocrisy, framed as a thrilling escapade.